Tom, how are you keeping? Do you know what? Let's not keep silent any longer. If we are waiting for boy racers on the ODR to pass so that we get nice clean audio for this bonus episode, we'll be here till fucking nightfall because those lads rip up and down that ODR all day, every day.
Hence why I play our backing track nicely as a little bed underneath this whole period, because there's always the fucker point where lads are tearing up and down on Honda Civics. But in fairness, I have also, the dog is scratching. I'm pretty sure she's got a tick or a flea or some fucking thing over here beside me. So, it's much and a muchness, really.
Other than that, Tom, we're pretty good to go, aren't we?
We are damn near good to go, people.
We
are making moves for you. We are making moves for you because the notes that are going back and forth between McBride and O'Mahony at the minute when it comes to season 6, there's a long time since I put this kind of effort into something, Jer. I think people are going to like it.
It is a long time. We are talking, of course, about the upcoming season 6 of the Tom and Jerry Show, and it's upcoming quicker than you might think. Stay tuned after this week's bonus episode. We're going to drop a little bit more knowledge on yous in regards to that. Regardless of that, Tom, we've another absolutely cracking guest for this week's bonus episode, don't we?
Very excited about this week's guest. We've been down the political route already, and this man is huge on social media.
Big and getting bigger. This week's guest is broadcaster, journalist, trutharian, philanthropist, landlord, property developer, champion of the people, and deputy-sub-editor-in-chief of Waterford Whispers News. Tell them who I'm talking about, Tom.
It is, of course, the great and powerful Bill Badbody, everybody.
Bill, it's wonderful to have you on the show. You're very welcome to donate your time to the Tom and Jerry Show.
Thanks, Jared. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate you having me on, and Tom, I suppose.
Well, I mean, you're one we've been going after for a while, Bill, in all fairness, but you have been busy, obviously, with the elections and all the rest of it. But incredible that you were able to set some time aside from us. I mean, you were doing great things throughout Dublin Bay South, apparently.
I was, look, it was a long battle, and we spent a lot of time and money on the whole campaign. And I suppose, the best person won in the end, kind of. And look, I'll take it on the chin. I lost, but look, I will be back. So I'm looking forward to the general elections and the local elections.
Well, Bill, while you were on the campaign trail, and indeed not just this campaign trail and campaigns of old, would you have any experience with the public, which I know you love the public, but would you have had any experiences that would classify themselves as your worst gig ever?
Worst gig ever? Well, I had an embarrassing moment, actually, in my hometown here in Tramore. And it was just about last year, I think. And my good friend, Gemma Doherty, well, maybe she's not a good friend anymore. She's not answering my calls, and she has blocked me on Twitter. But I don't know what's gone on. But I was meant to meet Gemma and John down in Tramore there in Waterford. And it was all going well. And she was texting me saying she was on the way. And I got down to the prom in Tramore, and they had a lovely display, a lovely protest against the COVID-19 restrictions. And my good friend as well, Fergal, he was there, and a couple of the lads. But what happened was, I was wearing a hat. I was wearing a baseball hat, and I was wearing sunglasses. And I said I'd go down and, do my normal thing and just film people and harass, refugees, that kind of thing. And there was Fergal there, and I seen him wearing what I thought were MAGA hats, Jerry. They looked like MAGA hats, and silly me thinking they were MAGA hats. I said on the video, and you can see this on my page, on my Facebook page and Twitter, the whole video, and it was so embarrassing. Oh my God! Like Fergal didn't recognize me. All the other lads didn't recognize me, and you'd think that they could recognize my voice, but no, they were just caught up in the moment. And I made the mistake of saying, oh, what lovely MAGA hats they were on. They weren't MAGA hats at all. They were wearing Make Ireland Holy Again hats. And I was rightly corrected there, and the lads nearly took my head off. But what transpired after that, the lads eventually realized that I was I was in fact on their side when I mentioned that that there was a lot of direct provision centres around Shmore, which there is. There's two or three, and immediately when I said that, Fergal turned to me and goes, "Oh, Bill, I didn't recognise you. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were on our side." And it was just so embarrassing. I mean, Fergal even come up to me afterwards and he goes, "Look, you know these hats, yeah, they're just for show. We're just trying to, bait people, which is what we do, on
Of course,
on these occasions. We like to bait people and cause arguments, which is basically what we're trying to do, and raise awareness against corruption in Ireland." And what happened then after, my phone died. And I said, "Fergal, you stay there. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my Irish flag and take off my hat and look a bit more patriotic." But by the time I got back, Fergal was taken to the ground. And again, you can see this in the video. I done an update there. Some guy was trying to take Fergal's flag down from the prom. And he made it. He spent about 2 weeks. I'm not messing, guys. If you knew the time and effort Fergal put into this banner. Now, some of the words were misspelled, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Fergal didn't go to school too long, but that's fine, and we're okay with that. We kind of, those are the kind of people that we go for anyway. So Fergal's flag was taken down by this. Obviously, it was a Soros stooge or someone who was paid by the far left and Antifa scum, I'd say, and tried to take down his flag. So
it could even have been the grammar police, perhaps.
Grammar police, maybe. Yeah, that could have been there as well. I'm not sure. There was so many peculiar characters there. And when Fergal seen his flag that he spent ages trying to make, and someone's trying to take it down, he went over. He politely went over behind the guy and just put his hand around him like this. Just tried to whisper into his ear, "Leave my flag alone." When the guy caught his hand, right, poor Fergal's hand, he caught his hand right under his chin and brought Fergal down to the ground using just his chin. So this man had Fergal's hand trapped under his chin, and he
clearly well trained. Well trained.
So obviously Soros or some kind of highly trained individual, and poor Fergal, he couldn't let. So Fergal was down like this, and he was like, "Oh, give me back my arm!" And the poor Fergal nearly lost his arm. And luckily, some of the guys eventually tore this man's arm away, or his chin away from Fergal's arm. And it was embarrassing. And I don't know whether it was something to do with the energy down there that day, but Gemma never turned up. Obviously, I think she seen what happened and she drove away in disgust. So maybe that's why she's not talking to me. But it was an embarrassing display, and it was probably one of my most memorable gigs. Not that I'm a comedian, guys like yourselves, but it was quite horrific, actually. But I'm looking forward to actually some live shows soon enough. I'm going to be in Cork. I'm playing something in Cork, and I don't even have it, but maybe you could put it into a link. I'm playing in Cork on the 5th of September. I'm doing, I work for there's a little newspaper down here in Waterford. It's a local newspaper. I don't mind if you don't know the name of it. It's called Waterford Whispers News, and it would be a fairly popular newspaper down here in Waterford. But I was recently promoted. Yes, Jerry. I was recently promoted to from sub-editor in-chief, actually, to deputy sub-editor-in-chief, and the editor himself, Colin, who's actually my half brother that we don't really talk about much, but he has to go away for some. He has to do some court cases in London and that. So he's just spending a bit of time in Dubai, away from extradition, So I'm quite busy now. I'm running the show here at the moment, still being paid the same. But it's good. It's good to be busy, I think.
It's very good of you too to take on such a local newspaper. I mean, the locality needs a voice like Bill's, in all fairness.
Absolutely.
And tell me, Colin, did any of the other longer-serving staff members of that newspaper, did they express any sort of grousing at being passed over for this promotion?
No, Jerry. No, actually, there's a lot of contributors. I think there's at least two, and I'm not sure their names actually. But I look into that. No, I doubt it. I doubt they'd be, angry over something like that. But
not when they get a man of your caliber in. Couldn't be.
No, absolutely not.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to your output on that newspaper that some of our listeners may or may not have heard of it. And Bill, we hope that your days of worse gigs like that are long behind you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
And to add to it, I mean, with the upcoming, general election and whatnot, I cannot personally wait to see, the fanfare that will roll in, because I think the tide is turning, Bill. I think the tide is turning.
I've heard in the wings that there's going to be a ticker tape parade for me in Waterford when I win the elections, and I'm really looking forward to that. And obviously the $100,000 a year expenses and all the little quirks that go with the job.
But sure, to a man like you, that's small change in all reality.
Look, it's something. It'll pay for the car at least for the year.
You'll find a home for it.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Bill, this has been absolutely brilliant. Before we do go anywhere, Bill, we're going to leave you there and we're going to switch over to. I don't know how we introduced this guy, Jerry. You came across him once upon a time. Was it on a holiday down in Waterford or whatever? But he seems like a bit of a character. We're going to switch over the recording now. We're going to go to live from the southeast himself, the beast from the southeast, down in Waterford City. It is it's Jayo, everybody. Is it Jayo we have there? Who do we have?
Boy, thanks for having me on here. What's the crack, lads? You all doing all right there?
Yeah, no, we're great. We're great.
You looking threatening. You were texting me earlier. Were you looking threatening?
Strawberries and potatoes coming out of the southeast would be great. So I mean, if you can, I know you've those lads positioned all around, outside Clonmel and whatnot. Is there anything? Have you anything with them boys?
We got a few blue ghosts there, lads. All right. If you're looking for those vaccine certs as well, yeah. You know the vaccine certs?
Oh, yeah.
I got a good one. You got the barcodes and everything on them, yeah. You go into any pub you want, boy. So, look, there's the 1 for 40 there. And if you want 3, I'll do 3 for a fucking ton, boy. You know what I mean?
That's a decent deal. But look, we'll talk sales after this. And we will put, obviously, a link to your, to your website after in the show notes.
Some bang, sound, man. Sound for that, boy.
But surely, be to God, I mean, a man who's lived such a characterful and colourful life, he surely must have something that you could describe to us as possibly your worst gig ever. It's been up and down. It's been wild there, ye and the gang of session heads.
For a session head like yourself.
Worst gig ever. Jesus, let me think of that. Like, you mean like standing up and stuff and talking and that, is it?
Not at all. I mean, it could have been any time, really. You know what I mean? When you got, if you were standing up and talking, it might have ended up in court.
I was in court. I was in court there a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know if you heard right. Right. I was loaded these skittle flags, right? There were skittle flags all over the town. I was like, what the fuck are all these skittle flags down here? You know what I mean? I said, fuck skittles, boy. I fucking hate skittles. You know what I mean? Fucking full of sugar and that. All big corporation stuffs and everything, yeah. I said, fuck them, I'm going to fucking rip down those fucking flags, yeah. I fucking ended up in fucking court then, yeah. Fucking lads said, what the fuck? I said, I'm only burning the fucking Skittles flags. And then they're all going after this fucking gay shit, like they were saying, you have to take the fucking gay flags down after burning the fucking thing. I said, what the fuck? They're fucking Skittles flags. I said, the fuck? And the judge was like, you're after fucking doing it now, Jerry. After doing it now. And I said, look, I thought they were fucking Skittles flags, lads. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Look, I didn't know. If anyone tells you otherwise, I'm all for the gays, but I love the gays.
Well, in fairness, they're good customers of anybody's. You know what I mean? At the best of times.
They fucking love the bangers, boy. They fucking eating them like fucking Smarties, are like Skittles.
Hey!
Okay. We'll taste the rainbow there, so we will. Joe, been wonderful to have you on as a bonus on a bonus episode as well.
I know about it, mate. You
never say the Southeast isn't represented on the Tom and Jerry show.
I hope you understand me.
Look, there'll be subtitles on this. Don't worry. Like, we'll.
Oh, there you
If ever there's two men that can put subtitles on the podcast, it's me and Tom.
Yeah, fucking need him.
Well, what can we say? What a couple of men there. I mean, you're not going to get much. 2 for the price of 1.
A bonus on a bonus episode. Show me where you'd get it, Tom.
I did.
Thanks again to Badbody for donating his valuable time, especially that he has taken over now in his Waterford Whispers role from the departing Colin Williamson, who I doubt we'll ever hear from again. But Badbody, thank you once again. Tom, bonus episode in the can. Let's have a little chat about something else. Let's have a little chat with these fine people about season 6 of the
season 6, because keep your ear holes and your eyeballs peeled. You are obviously subscribers to this podcast. If you're not, Christ almighty, scroll down, hit subscribe if this is your very first time listening, possibly because we're going to get a lot of new people as a result, of course, of Bill Badbody. But hit subscribe, because this coming Monday, we're going to be dropping, everybody. We're going to be dropping a brand new launching episode. So it'll be an announcement. We've got a big announcement, and it's coming this Monday. So
this Monday, like an episode 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Will.
Episode
you
0.
wanted to put a name on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tom, like, you know what? I like this as well, because, like, we've been saying stay tuned for a number of weeks here now, pal. But now we can actually say, no, don't stay tuned. Monday. This coming Monday.
It's coming Monday. This coming Monday. As you're listening to this on, I think it's the 5th. If you're listening to this today on the 5th, it'll be Monday in a couple of days' time. I can't count up that far. I think
whatever the Monday falls on. But it is big news on season 6. It's the kickoff episode. It's the pilot episode, if you wish. And you may be saying to yourself, a pilot episode? No, it's just the lads talking shite. Lads, come on. You are going to want to tune in on Monday. As Tom says, you're subscribing, so you're going to get it anyway. But this is the one that you want to tell your pals about. This is the one that you want to tap a lad on the shoulder on the bus and say, hey, you listen to a podcast? Turn it off. Tom and Jerry Show, season 6, starting on Monday.
That's exactly it, because this one is a change of tack. I'm sure we've had a lot of people who loved the setup from before, but this is an absolute change of tack. But at the same time, it's very much quintessential Tom and Jerry.
I mean, like, it's still me and Tom, so, like, the core elements of the show are still there. I would say, like,
a lot of dick jokes. There's going to be a lot of dick jokes.
The way, Tom, how, like, humans are separated from monkeys by, like, just a sliver of DNA. That's what it is.
Pretty much. But we are putting a lot of effort into it, which I think it will pay back in dividend. I think people will enjoy that as a result.
Absolutely. But don't take our word for it. Take future us's word for it when you listen in on Monday, right here on the Tom and Jerry Show. And we've got bonus episodes still coming next week. Loads of shit. Don't worry about it.
We got you covered. We got you, everybody. Jor, let's hit the Minty Highway.
Go on.
Good luck and thanks.